Welcome to Saving Grace Homeschool. Today we're going to take a look at some of our English works. So let's jump right in to what's been prepared for us. So we're reading a story called JoJo Goes to a New School. But they say, look, before you read, look at the pictures and headings and try to predict what the text will be about. Skim the pages to see what you will read about. And then while you read, compare your predictions with what you read. If you don't understand a section, read it again, slowly, and read it out loud. So look at the picture and the title of this worksheet and discuss what you think the story might be about. Skim the story by reading the first and last lines of each paragraph. Think about how it might feel if you were a new child in a school. Read the story and then answer the questions that follow. JoJo was having a tough time at school. Why did I have to come to this school? He muttered as he sat with his face in his hands. These kids are so mean. Last year, JoJo had to go and live with his dad in Gauteng. Had to leave his mother and sister behind in Limpopo. He also had to leave his small village school and all his school friends. He lived in Johannesburg and went to a large school with nearly 1,000 children. When JoJo first arrived at his new school, the children gave him strange looks. His English was not so good because he did not speak English at his previous school. The children teased him because he was small and wore thick spectacles. At his old school, the children accepted each other as they were. He missed his friends and the feeling of safety that he had at his old school. He missed his mother and his younger sister. Everyone at his new school seemed to be bigger than JoJo and good at sport. Although JoJo did not play soccer, he knew a lot about soccer. He always watched the big games on TV. He knew all the players and he knew all about the matches. Sport was not really important at his old school, and in any case, JoJo's parents did not have money to buy him football boots. But at his new school, sport was everything. If you were good at sport, you were regarded as cool. If you were not good at sport, you were regarded as a wimp or a nerd, not popular with the other children. One afternoon, as all the children went over to the sport fields, JoJo stood and watched. He wished he had the courage to join them, but he didn't, so he walked home alone. He took his usual route, which was over the bridge, past the sports shop, past the wimpy, and then across the field. JoJo had just crossed the bridge when he was stopped by a group of bullies. One of the boys grabbed JoJo's bag. They started throwing it to and fro. Then Bruce, one of the biggest boys in the school, knocked JoJo's glasses off, picked them up and ran away with them. JoJo begged him to give back his glasses. Please, I can't see without them, he called. But Bruce just threw them into the road. JoJo bent down to pick them up. He could not believe his luck. He had expected the spectacles to be broken into small pieces, but they weren't. Luckily, they had landed on a cardboard box that had given them a soft landing, and so they had not broken. JoJo picked up his bag and his spectacles, and then he picked up the box. It felt a bit heavy. He shook it. There was something inside it. So then they have a section of questions before the story continues. It says, compare the way JoJo lived previously with the way he lives now. So his family, he lived with his mother and sister. Now he lives with his father. So his school was small. They didn't speak English. They all accepted each other. Language. He did not speak English. Has to speak English. Friends. Had many friends. Had no friends. Sport wasn't important. Is everything. Feelings, he was happy there. And here he is sad. Let's talk about how you think the story will end. Make up an ending and role play it. We can write that ending over there. So I'm just going to leave this up for a little bit just so that you guys can write that down before we go on to the next slide. Okay. JoJo shook the box again. He turned it over and over, trying to see if it belonged to anyone. He cautiously opened the box, and to his surprise, he found one right soccer boot. He looked around to see if anyone had dropped it. Then he tried the right boot on and it fitted perfectly. Not much use, though, he said to himself. There's only one boot. Just then, the shopkeeper from the sport shop threw out another boot. We can't sell these, he told JoJo. We use them for customers to try on for size, he said. JoJo picked up the shoe. It was the left boot from the same pair. They fit me, said JoJo excitedly, tying up the laces. Then they're yours, said the shopkeeper. We're getting new stock tomorrow, and at 3 o'clock a day, Big Ben, the soccer star from the Bear soccer team in England, is coming to do a promotion and cleaning up the shop. At that moment, Big Ben arrived. Hi there, kid, he shouted at JoJo. I'm going to be training the team at the school in the next street. Are you coming? I can't come, sir, said JoJo. I'm not much good at soccer. In fact, I'm not much good at anything, sir. Come on, boy, you've got magic boots. What's your name? Big Ben asked. JoJo, sir. Don't worry, JoJo, you'll be fine. And before Joe knew what was happening, Big Ben was escorting him back over the bridge and onto the soccer field. What are you doing here? Asked the coach, looking at JoJo. JoJo's come with me and he's on my side, said Big Ben. Come on, JoJo. I want you to go out there and play like you're a pro. Keep your eye on the ball and remember, you got the magic boots. JoJo ran onto the field, started dribbling down the field. It was as if the boots took over. He dribbled and kicked, and the spectators began to shout, JoJo, JoJo. Then JoJo missed the pass. Come on, JoJo, use the magic boots, kid, shouted Big Ben. JoJo scored and then scored again. Big Ben rested a hand on JoJo's shoulder and said, well done, kid. You know how to use those boots. Just keep practicing. Bruce and the bully boys just looked on. They could not believe their eyes. JoJo, said Big Ben, you don't have to be popular. The only thing that really matters is what you think about yourself, he said, pointing to his head. Even the coach was surprised. Well played, JoJo. Are you going to join the team? He asked. No, thanks, coach, said JoJo. I'm fine, sir. It's all about what I think about myself, he whispered softly to himself. And so whatever he did and wherever he went, JoJo always felt like he was wearing his magic boots. So they want you to compare the characters of Bruce the bully and Big Ben the soccer player. How do we know that Big Ben is a caring person? We know he is a caring person because he wanted to help JoJo overcome his fears and his lack in self-esteem. Find and then underline sentences in the story that show us that Big Ben motivated JoJo. So let's go look for a few sentences. So here we have this sentence over here. There you go. Those are the sentences where Big Ben motivated JoJo, and he's different from Bruce the bully because he doesn't break JoJo down in any way. He only motivates him to go forward. Imagine you're JoJo. You're going to write a letter to your friend in the village school that you attended before you went to Johannesburg. In your letter, describe your new school. Then describe what happened when you found the soccer boots. Use this mind map to help you plan the letter. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to use the mind map to help you write JoJo's letter. So you're going to fill in the address and the date. Dear, say how you felt leaving the village. Describe your new school, the children, and how you felt. Describe what happened when the bullies took your spectacle. Say how Big Ben helped you feel better about yourself. And then end it, your friend, and fill in your name at the end of the letter. Reading a diary. Today I played in a soccer match. We won 3-0. After that, my mom took us to a restaurant. Had a burger and chips. I saw Bongi and her brother there. Then after that, at about 4 p.m., we visited my cousin Maria. We played cricket in their backyard. I hit a 6 and then she bowled me out. It was a fun day. Start each paragraph with a time word. Use the first person I and say who, what, when, where, and what. So let's read the diary entry written by JoJo's friend in the village. And then after that, read the diary entry written by Charlie, another friend of JoJo's. Dear diary, today I woke up early as usual. I helped my grandmother fetch water from the tap, and then I dashed off to catch the bus to school. I was sorry that I had to go to school because our neighbor gave me a cute little kitten. I wanted to stay at home and play with it. As we drove off to town, the bus driver discovered that the bus had a flat wheel. We had to stop so that he could change the tire. Most of the passengers were upset because they would be late for work. They were even more annoyed when he said that he did not have a spare tire and that it would take 1.5 hours for a replacement bus to come. I wasn't annoyed at all. I just came home to play with the kitten, Sarah. And then, dear diary, I had a marvelous time today. We had a school outing and we went to the Cradle of Humankind in the Northwest Province. It took us about an hour from Johannesburg. We saw the Sterkfontein caves and the site where the fossils Mrs. Place and Littlefoot were discovered. These are fossils or skeletons that are about 3.3 million years old. It makes my birthday seem so unimportant. The boring part was driving home. We seemed to drive forever and I started to get cold. Unfortunately, I left my school jersey at the site, and when I got back, my mother was mad at me. Charlie. So you're going to keep a diary for yourself for the next 3 days. Write down what you did each day, how you felt, and write about your joys and disappointments, and you're going to complete that over there. Then we're going to take a look at adverbs of degree. So add the correct form of the word in brackets to complete the sentences below. The bully ran fast than JoJo. So the bully ran faster than JoJo. I will get there soon than you, sooner than you. Jabu jumped higher than the other boys, higher than the other boys. Sarah got to school later than everyone else. Refilway waited for the bus longer than Rachel. The lights in town shine brighter than the lights in rural areas. Brighter. I felt happy than I had ever felt when I won the race. Happier. In winter, I go to bed early than I do in summer. Earlier than I do in summer. So now try these comparative adjectives. Divide the words into syllables and say how many syllables each word has. Then fill in the correct comparative adverb. So we have beautifully, I have 3 syllables, more beautifully, most beautifully. So if the word has 3 or more syllables, we use more and most when we make comparisons. When you use more or most, do not use the ending ER or EST. So then we have intelligently. So that one has 5 syllables. Attractively has 4 syllables. Energetically Dramatically has 6. Disastrously has 4. Gracefully has 3. Fast as 1. Diligently has 4. Deliciously also has 4. And then late has 1. So this one's going to look more intelligently. Most intelligently. Attractively. Energetically. Disastrously. Gracefully. Fast. Is faster. Fastest. Diligently. Deliciously. And then lastly, we have late. And there you have it. So I'm going to leave these up just for a while so that you can write down the answers before we go on to our next slide. Okay. Adverbs of place. So adverbs of place tell us where things are. Fill in these adverbs of place to complete the sentences below. You can use each word once. So our words are everywhere, upstairs, outside, around, in, and nearby. So don't play in the house. Go play outside. I looked around the room. I think I looked in. Let's leave that one open and continue for now. So John looked but could not find his phone. So John looked everywhere. Could not find his phone. Come in. They live nearby. I went upstairs. So we were right for that second one. So it is, I looked around the room. Then we're taking a look at noun phrases. Read the noun phrases below and then complete each sentence in an imaginative way. So the parrot is very colorful. Mondu's skateboard is brand new. The circus was in town for a week. School holidays are almost over. My bike is pink. Playing sports is good for you. And then chocolate bars are my favorite. Then complete the sentences. So we're looking at noun clauses. So whose pen is this? I don't know whose pen it is. Where does he live? I don't know where he lives. What is her name? I don't know her name. When will she come? I don't know when she'll come. What is this? I don't know what this is. Who is she? I don't know who she is. Then reflexive pronouns. Can you remember what reflexive pronouns are? We use reflexive pronouns if the subject and the object of the verb are the same. For example, she saw herself in the mirror. We also use a reflexive pronoun after a preposition if the object of the preposition is the same as the subject of the sentence. For example, she took an orange for herself. Fill in one of these reflexive pronouns to complete the sentences. So we have itself, yourself, ourselves, themselves, yourselves, myself, himself, herself. So get off the roof, you will hurt yourself. I always do my homework by myself. He dresses and he is only 2 years old. He dresses himself. He's only 2 years old. She makes her school lunch for herself. The dog helps itself to food because we leave the bag open. The athletes got themselves fit before the Olympic Games. We cooked lunch for ourselves. You must look after yourselves when you go hiking. And there you go. Again, going to leave this up for a moment before we continue. Okay. Then you're going to write a story. So you're going to plan to write your own story. What will it be about? Who will your main characters be? And what information will you give? And you can make your own book on pages 101 to 102. On the cover, write the title of the book. Put your name under the title because you're the writer. Draw a picture on the cover and write your story with a beginning, middle, and end. And then when you're done with that, you can just complete this little survey over here. And that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson and enjoyed the stories that we read. And I hope to see you guys back soon.